Good friggin' morning from New England, folks, and welcome back to episode 40 of the So New England podcast. I am your host, Ian Brownhill, joined by my not-so-better half, Robert Travisano.
You say some hurtful things, I swear.
All things life's better in New England, So New England podcast producer, and as I always say, the handsomest man not on camera, Vincent Quineri. Listen, guys, I say this once, I've said it a million times. We have great guests for you. You need to be listening and tuning in. So if you're here, you're going to be in for a doozy. I promise you that. RJ, who do we have on the pod today?
The best part of doing this podcast is truly the people. We've had some amazing guests on, and the best part is we have no signs of slowing this train down. And today's guest is going to fit right into that mold, as we have yet another New Englander here to add to our list of absolute amazing people from our region. You may have seen him on TV with Nesson or Let's Meet Boston, or maybe you're one of his 100,000 followers between his Instagram, TikTok, and Etsy. This creator comes in with a different outlook as he shares our beloved Beantown with the masses in his own way, through his camera, bringing you places you may never have heard of about to show you what truly is the heart of New England, from culture to cuisine and everything in between. This Somerville native makes it so easy for you to go to his page for a one-stop shop for anything you'd ever like to do in Boston. Whether you want to find a cozy spot for lunch, have a great night out with the boys, or just take a walk and enjoy the sights, maybe snack some pics along the way, our guest today has your back. So without further ado, our amazing guest on the pod, episode 40, Shawn Moran, a.k.a. Shawn in Boston.
Let's go. Episode 40. Damn.
Not bad, right?
40. Not bad.
Welcome
good
in.
for you guys. Well, good for me, huh?
How was that introduction? Was that everything you wanted and
That was
more?
everything I ever hoped and dreamed for, and probably more, to be honest with you, which is great. So
As long as you feel that way, that's what I care about.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have to get rid of you as a co-host because people are becoming more excited to see you than me, and that I just my ego cannot handle that.
Once I can figure out how to do the mic right, because I can hear it when you moved it, I was like, oh, that sounds much better.
you're not going to tell me ChatGPT wrote that, right?
Absolutely. Never in my life.
I'll be a little disappointed.
The least
know.
technologically savvy friend I have is this guy right here.
Absolutely.
ChatGPT would just tell him, please log off. Don't use me.
There. I don't know how to use it.
Who are you?
Yeah. That's not how this works, pal. No, from the heart.
I love that. Oh, what's up, guys? I'm excited to be here. This is
Yeah,
fun.
thank you so much for coming on. In perfect New England fashion, you got stuck in traffic on your way down,
Yep.
so we appreciate
Behind
it.
a
That's
freaking funeral.
That's the Rhode
Whatever.
Island staple. When you come here, we need to just introduce you to traffic because, you know, and we're not like Boston where there's 3 or 4 lanes. You get 2 lanes and that's it.
Not right.
And
And
no
I
one
got
knows how to
stuck behind
drive
an
or
old
use their
lady.
blinker. So
Yeah, it was bad. So it's okay. Everybody sucks. I got stuck behind a Maine person, New Hampshire person, a Rhode Island person. It's just a New England. I also suck at driving.
and that's the pod right there. I mean, that's so much else you need to talk
nailed
about.
That's it. We're going home.
Hook,
That's
line,
it.
and sinker.
Awesome. Well, listen, we really appreciate you, like I said, coming down,
Yeah, for sure.
coming on the pod. Huge fan of your content, loving all the stuff. You teach me stuff all the time.
Right back at
I
you.
was like the least good student, as you can tell by my anger. So when you're giving your history lessons, I was just watching the one where you were, because you did a lot of awesome stuff around St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
But I was watching the one where you talked about with your Let Meets Boston stuff, the Irish Trail, talking about the historians and
that
the
was
people
cool.
who were the mayors and governors. I was like, this is really cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was an assignment from the Nesson TV show. They sent
that's
me
so
there.
cool.
And the cool thing about the TV show is that the producers curate these episodes basically. And there's some stuff that I've never heard of, but you get assigned to these spots and you're on your own to sort of reach out to these people, produce the episode, edit the episode, send it in. And it's cool because places like that, while as cool as the Irish Heritage Trail is, it's not something that I probably would have ever gone out and done on my own because it just wasn't on my radar. But now that it was, I met the guy who runs it. He's amazing. These people who do these things, I don't know what kind of money's in it for them, but they just do it because they love it. And that's my favorite part about meeting these people. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that was cool. I learned so much. You don't realize how many Irish, especially connections in the city that there are. You know, it's an Irish city, but to sit there and learn that, oh, this statue has this and this statue is this and this tree and then whatever it is. But like, yeah, that was really cool. Definitely. So,
That's so awesome. I
of
love
fun.
that.
Yeah.
Love that as a proud Irishman
There we
who's
go.
literally, you know, like I've said a million times, probably like 4 lineages removed at this point. I'm also English, so
we all are, yeah.
I'm also pretty sure I'm the English that, you know, the Irish want out of
Well, the Europeans,
Ireland, but-
Europeans think we're weirdos because we all say, "Oh, I'm Irish, I'm Italian." They're like, "What do you mean
Yeah.
you're American?"
Yeah.
Well, you don't have that. You're from England. Your lineage goes back 7,000 years in England. So yeah, that's But,
That's just how it works.
yeah, right. It's funny.
Awesome. Well, listen, Shawn, let the people get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Give us your backstory. Tell us how you got to where you are now and where Shawn and Boston came from.
Yeah, so I started, okay, we're going to go way back. So I was at UMass Boston back in 2016, 17, and, living in Dorchester, living close to the city kind of gave me, unfettered access to it. So that's sort of where I wouldn't say passion for the city came, but my access and being able to take photos, because I started with photography. So that was really cool to start, right? So getting into the city a lot, taking photos, posting photos. Now this is when Instagram was, cool back in the day, right? When it was just
photos only
and kind of dumb now when you think about it. But, so yeah, that was like that until COVID, really. I was just taking pics, having fun, meeting photographers out there, going on photo walks with people, meeting a ton of cool people, doing that. And then COVID came, Reels, TikTok, kind of took over, so Instagram followed suit, right? But I sort of was, I wouldn't say I was slow to get on there, but I was starting to use Reels as a means to show my photos. So I started, instead of making funny videos like you guys do, it was more of, let's just use this as a means to get my pictures out there, because pictures were tanking, videos were taking over. People, every photographer on earth was fucking complaining that, TikTok videos are taking over, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why don't you just use it as in a different way? You know what I mean? You can still get your photos seen. So that's what I was doing for a while, maybe a year or two, just using it as a way to showcase photography, right? And then I was like, well, this is dumb. I have a decent following now, which was, I don't know, maybe, I think I just hit 10,000 at that point. But I was like, I have a little following. Why don't we put my face out there and maybe we can have a little bit more fun, right? So we did that. And my first video was literally just me walking through the public garden saying something like, hey guys, it's finally fall here in Boston. Let's go take some pictures. And it was just showcasing like the pictures like that. And when I watched that video, I'm like, oh, this looks so stupid. I'm like, wow, we came a long way since then. I think I had a cold, so I was like, all like, it was nasty. But
which is a perfect sign of fall.
All right, just like
that's
fall
why
allergies.
So New England podcast.
Oh, yeah.
If you're gonna have a video in fall, you're gonna need to be congested.
Right, yeah, pretty much, right? Fall and spring, like even right now, I'm like, oh my God, it's coming. But yeah, so that's how that started. And then it's sort of just trickle down into more and more videos, and then brands start reaching out to you, as you know, and then it's like, all right, well, if brands are reaching out to me, there's a little bit of money maybe to be made here. So we kind of started like going a little bit heavier with that, and I still don't do as, I'm still not as like into it or heavy into it as a lot of content creators or influencers are, but like I try to stay there. I mean, I'm busy, it's not my full-time job, right? But anyways, yeah, so that sort of turned into more of me being on camera, me going places, going to restaurants, showcasing things like the Irish Heritage Trail, and doing things like that. So it sort of just had a snowball effect from there, from photography to where it is now. We're on the TV show with Let's Meet Boston on Nesson, which is amazing, with Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson, and those two are icons in New England, right? I mean, every gala you go to, every fundraiser you go to, whatever they're hosting, they're just awesome, and they are as cool in person as they are on the TV show. So that's been fun. They brought me on. We were on season 1. I still remember Jenny had been following me for a little while, and she DM'd me saying she had an idea about a TV show, and I jumped on a phone call with her and we talked it out for a little bit, and a couple months went by, and then I finally got the official invite from the producers saying we were really doing this, and I was like, oh, this is sick. This will be fun. So it's been so much fun. Like, it's just, we basically get to take what we do on social, on TikTok, on Instagram, and emulate that onto the television for a 9:30 a.m. spot on Nesson every weekend. So on Saturdays at 9:30, Let's Meet Boston. So yeah, that's been really cool. I mean, I think it's very unique. I don't know anywhere else in the country, or at least in New England, that has that on a major TV station like Nesson that is broadcasting with influencers, and that's been really cool. We have to shoot horizontally, so that's a little difficult sometimes. But once you get used to that, it's fun. But yeah, just being involved with the production side of Nesson, learning we're not super involved with them, but like learning how the ins and outs sort of work with them has been really cool. Timelines, editing, producing, sound quality, all that stuff has been really cool. And, we go to Nesson events and you meet a lot of cool people, and that sort of gets you into the next event, and to the next event. And so, yeah, being associated with them has been awesome. And I love it. We're on season 2, like I said, and coming back for season 2 is awesome. So
absolutely crushing it.
Trying to.
So when you were growing up in the Boston area, in the New England region, Is this anything that you ever would have imagined for yourself?
No, well, who did? We didn't have this
Right, exactly.
20 years ago, right?
So where did the passion for photography come from?
I don't even know. I always loved the city, like going to the city, taking the subway into the city. Now I hate it because I do it every day. But I honestly don't know. I'm a very like loyal person. I get very attached to things that I'm involved with, like, you know, where I'm from or friends or whatever. And I think that is something that has taken over. Right. Like Boston obviously is, you know, not the biggest city, not the, you know, it's not this big, grandiose, amazing cities like you see, but it's a great city. To me, it's an amazing city. But, so it's just been something that I've really attached to, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's like, I always say it's a big city with small town vibes. Right. And I love that.
Yeah. Well, it's got all the culture.
Right. It's a culture. It's very culture too. And I feel like people always say that American cities don't have culture, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like Boston is one of the ones, especially that does. And it's a very mix of New England meets like little New York or something like that.
Right.
You know? And I think I think New England culture in general is something you don't see anywhere. I mean, you have like that super bougie, like Nantucket vibe, but you also have like the fishermen and like the wicked tuna guys. And like, but then you have the Boston vibes that are like, go fuck yourself. And it's like, I don't know, like it's a little bit of everything. That's why I love it. I love it. And you get that in Rhode Island. You get that in Vermont, Maine, Mass, no matter where you are, not Connecticut because they're not part of us, but you get that.
Shawn gets it.
Let's go.
Fuck them.
40 for 40.
That's why there's no show called Let's Meet Connecticut. Because no one cares.
Yeah. Pick your side. Yankees or Red Sox.
Kidding, Connecticut.
No, we're not kidding.
Fun fact, though, the guys from Wicked Tuna graduated from Nichols College.
Wow,
Did they really?
Yep.
Nice.
They were really good. Or the one guy who, it's like the main guy, really good at tennis.
What?
Really good at tennis.
Was he there when you were there?
Yeah.
No kidding. That's so funny.
He
There you
was.
go. That's a fun fact.
He was 2 years before me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the tennis really helped him catch fish or something. That's cool.
Yeah. Got the flick of the
When
wrist.
I found that out, when I found out they were the same guy, I was like,
That's so funny.
yeah.
Hey,
Fun fact
sometimes
of
it
the day.
works out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a unique turn of events for you then. So
Yeah.
you've got a passion for New England, for Boston. You love your city. You start with photography. And then as most content creators have had to do, you kind of roll with the punches, right? You go from that to making reels, kind of going through.
Right.
The Let Meets Boston thing. What has that really done for you career-wise, right? Because it's such a juxtaposition compared to like just social media.
Right.
Although there is such a... What?
That's a great word.
Juxtaposition.
What do you think I'm...
Good for you.
Oh, yeah, throw that in. Let's go.
I'm not high-fiving you. Mute his mic.
High school
Anyways.
diploma right there, baby.
To have to, but having both
Sometimes
of
it
those
works.
things, because I feel like, you know, the unique thing about the show from what I've acquired by watching you, Beth, and other people who have been on it, is that it's showcasing people such as yourself who have a passion for the Boston area specifically, because it is, as much as when people think of New England, they think of Boston. They do. It's just like what happens when you say Massachusetts. You don't think of Springfield. You don't think of anything west of that. Yeah, probably shouldn't, anyways. But but I'm saying, like, most people don't think of the West, and Massachusetts is a huge state, right? But everything related to it is really like East Coast,
Right.
So that entire encapsulation of all of your experiences, like coming together and then being in like a show,
Right.
what is that like? What has that kind of done for you, like as an individual, as a person, as you're thinking about what your future looks like with this?
Right. I think it's one thing that's cool is I notice a lot of content creators, at least around here, aren't from here.
Right.
Like they're transplants, whichever, which is fine. I mean, that's great that they've chosen Boston, New England to settle down. And I think I'm unique in that I am from here, so I get it. You know, a lot of people maybe don't get it. And that's not to say they're not doing a good job, because they are. But I just think there's a little bit of a uniqueness in there. But in terms of career-wise, like I'm not, this isn't my full-time job. Like a lot of content creators it's not their full-time job. But it sort of has given me a different, like, maybe like a different perspective, right, on how to deal with people, how to work with brands, and how to do that. It kind of opened me up to those things, whereas I wasn't doing that before with just photography. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't like a professional photographer. It was more hobby-based, right? I mean, professional photographers make so much money, but like if you're doing weddings and stuff, you're obviously in a different world than what I was doing. So, but But yeah, so yeah, I think the show in general has just opened my eyes up to a whole different level of potential, right? When it comes to career-wise, so many more options. People love seeing that on a resume, right? Like, that's cool. You worked with Nesson. That's a huge, everybody knows Nesson. Everybody knows Billy and Jenny. It's like a huge thing. So that's been really cool having that connotation. But yeah, so that's sort of, I think I answered the question.
Yeah, you did.
What are your top 3 least favorite chores?
Ooh, that's easy. Laundry, having to fold the laundry and then trying to put that laundry away.
So the whole laundry process. Yeah, I'm truly convinced that my dryer eats my socks.
I wouldn't doubt it. But this wouldn't be happening if you would just sign up for Happiness Laundry, like I told you.
You tell me a lot of things.
That's fair. But when it comes to wicked convenient things like this that can save you time, you should listen.
I'm vaguely remembering this now.
Yeah, there we go. You take your dirty clothes, you put them in the provided bag, and then schedule a pickup through the app. Leave it outside for them to grab. You remembering all this now?
Yeah, but I don't need it every week, nor do I need another subscription.
You don't do your laundry Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter because you can customize it with any day that you need, and there's no contracts. You don't have to worry about a subscription.
But what happens to all my clothes?
What do you mean? You think they're just stealing your undies? They bring it back washed, dried, and folded. Right back to the place where you left it to begin with. 24 hours later. Fast, professional, convenient. The only downside is I can't seem to convince them to put it away for me as well.
Yeah, but you know me, I'm picky. I like my laundry a certain way.
Again, Sassy Pants, you can go online or in the app and customize the detergents, temperatures, and how you want it folded.
This kind of sounds like you're promoting them right now.
That's because I am. All listeners can get 10% off their first bag on us. Just use promo code SONEWENGLAND. That is SONE now. Now, walk me through how you decide to come up with like your content. Like, do you sit down and do you do research about what you feel like doing that day? Or is it kind of just like on the fly, you're in Boston, you're like, oh, this would be a great thing to make videos about. Like, how does your content come to life?
Yeah, I'm usually like lying in my bed crying that I can't think of anything. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to post? I don't even want to do this shit anymore. And then I'll be like, oh wait, no, never mind. I make some money doing this. I got to keep going. And I like the people. I'm like, okay, I got to keep going with the content. All right. No, I mean, you try to be relevant. Like, obviously this week was big on Red Sox opening day. St. Patrick's Day was big. Coming up, we got the marathon. So that's big. And then going into the summer, brands start doing a ton of work. So you start doing a lot more like visits to restaurants and events and like all kinds of shit in the city that it's so much fun. So like last summer was my full time going heavy with the influencer stuff. And like, it was insanely busy. Like there was so much to do and it was great. And all my friends benefit from it, which is nice, you know, especially when I can get brands to give me group things, group outings, and not everything's paid, but if you give me $1,000 worth of a night out with my friends, that's great.
Right.
You know, and we'll do that. So yeah, there's some companies, there's some restaurants that are willing to be like, hey, take all your friends, have fun. And then some are just like, well, we can only afford a couple people and that's fine too. You know, like I mentioned to you earlier, I'm all about helping small businesses and restaurants and doing that. And as content creators, I think some people have sort of taken their own personal, not vendettas, but their own wishes that, you know, they think that they're bigger than a lot of this and you're not. You just post funny videos on the internet or cool videos on the internet. You know what I mean? None of us are bigger than any of this. And I think people really need to take a little check sometimes and realize, hey, you have this platform, you should be using it to help people. You should be getting paid fairly, but sometimes you have to say, hey, this restaurant's struggling a little bit. Let him give me dinner and I'll shoot a video for him and just post it real quick.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's okay to like, just take a back seat and be like, all right, I'm getting a free dinner out of this and it is what it is.
I think that's a testament to your true love and passion for the Boston area.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I care about the city.
Same thing. It's definitely, that's what I feel like when you were talking earlier about how being born here and like this being your home, I think that's the big difference where a lot of the people in our area who are influencers, content creators do that. They have that same feeling. Like they're all for taking a check. Like if I can bring 10 people to your restaurant, I'm all for it.
Right.
But at the same time, if you need me to come there and just eat myself and help you out, all for it.
Yeah, that's how I'm kind of at. I'm always going to prioritize the check first.
Of course.
But if you come to me and say, to an extent, I'm not going to get steamrolled either. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? And some content creators can be bad, but some businesses expect everything for nothing too, which is not okay. But no, it's all within reason. You know, that's all. Like, you know, I'm friends with so many restaurant owners and management staff now. And, you know, yeah, it's great when I can skip the line and get in. But like, you know, what else are we doing there? You know, like, it's cool. Like But sometimes you have those little perks. Like I got into that Ed Sheeran thing at the Dubliner.
Oh, dude, honestly, I didn't want to talk about it because I can't express to you my absolute like love, obsession, and passion for that man.
Oh, that was amazing.
I am obsessed. So when I found that out, I just like, I turned off my phone because I saw you were there, that Jenna was there. I was like, I can't believe this. And then he did this imp switch pop up. And I was like on the text chain. I'm like texting it like 4 times. I was like, hello, there? Is anyone there? Please.
They're only letting like 400 people or something.
I know. And I don't know how they chose it.
I don't know. It was cool, but I think if you got the text, you were eligible to show up.
Right.
But if you could still get there and they would be like, yeah, sorry, we don't have space for you.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
But no, the Dubliner, him at the Dubliner was insane.
That's so great. I went to the Mishnock Festival the next night and I had my fingers crossed.
He was going to show up.
That he was going to show. I was like, dude, he's like here. It's the Mishnock Festival. I know he's from England, so he's not, but like he is a redhead. He is Irish.
He could work.
Come on.
He was in Nashville that morning or the night before or something.
Right.
So like,
he went straight to New York for the, Aziza.
Oh yeah,
Azizum or whatever.
It just came out yesterday. Pretty good song.
Yeah, it was a great video.
I'm excited for Old Phone. That's coming out soon. I think.
I can't wait.
That's gonna be like one of those crying songs. I think though.
I'm a sad boy.
I know. Me
I
too.
love that stuff.
Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran.
Dude, I can't even to this day. It makes me cry every time.
Every time.
I literally text my mom. I was like, I love you. What's wrong, sweetie? Nothing, Mom. Just take it. I love you.
Don't throw the flowers out.
That's so funny.
No, yeah, but yeah. So that was so cool at the Dublin. I was going there anyways, and I know the owner. He's awesome. Oren McGonigal. He's amazing, dude. This guy.
That's not Irish.
Yeah, right. I know. He's so cool. He owns the Dubliners, Carrie Nation, McGonigal's, Emmett's Pub, Scholars, all kinds of places. And you know what?
There's a really good one in Somerville too, right? A big Irish pub.
He doesn't. I don't think it's the Barn.
That's the Barn. Okay, I saw that a few times. I have it pinned on my profile of like places cool. I need to go to.
The Barn is cool. I don't believe he owns it, but that's on that same coolness level that I love.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's tight in there, but it's packed all the time.
But they have like a bunch of trad players come in, right? And in the corner and they play. And it's like, that's what I'm all about. I want that authentic experience.
Yeah, they get that old school Irish bar in there with a little spot for, for Irish music. But then in the back, they have like more of like a floor with like a stage and stuff.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty cool for like down, like little road on Somerville. You know what I mean? So yeah, we've gone there a couple times. That's cool. But yeah, that guy Oren, he's awesome. He always takes care of me and my friends, and it's just nice. But that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say, like, it's nice building these connections with people and not just getting, having these connections to get cool stuff, but like, it's just nice meeting people in business. And if I can throw him a couple of videos to help him get a line out the door tomorrow, then why not do it?
Right.
And I have that with a bunch of people. John Karen at West End Johnny's. We all know, everybody has been to West End Johnny's downtown near the Garden. That guy's awesome. He's another one. He takes care of the people in the community, and they take care of him. And it's just, he's such a cool guy too. So yeah, it's so much fun meeting these guys, and they're all just regular business owners. You go when you're in college, you're like shit faced. You're going out at night. You're like, fuck, who's this old guy staring at me? Well, he's the owner. Like you're not coming here without him. And
right.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's nice being on this side of more production side of things, more planning side of things, where you get to meet so many cool people. And that guy John, he's awesome. He wears this giant Red Sox ring. I think he used to work for the Red Sox, but he has a 2004 ring, and he let us wear it once. I'm like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. So
yeah, it's so awesome.
That was so cool.
We just had Joe Andruzzi, former
right,
and he let us wear his rings, and I can't even express to you the mittens on this man. Like he jokingly like choked me, and it was like the Hulk had his arms around me. I was like, Jesus, this is insane.
Yeah, you really don't want that.
Yeah.
No. I used to see like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady with like,
yeah,
they have to hold their hands like this because the rings are like, I'm like,
so massive.
Come on, what is that? You're just showing off at that point. Like, what else are you doing with that?
What would you say is the biggest misconception about Boston, or Boston people, or both?
Good question. I think the Northeast in general, I think, gets a bad rep for being rude, but like even from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia up to Boston, everybody's kind of like rough and tough, or you're in my way, you're what I mean, get out of my way. But I think people here they're not nice, but they're kind to you.
Right.
Like if you're pulled over, they might beep at you, but they might actually get out and help you too, to change your tire with you or something like that. Or, they might push you out of the way to get the fuck out of their way on the sidewalk. But if you ask them for directions, you know what I mean? They might be like, yeah, it's over there, they'll help you out. So I think New England, the Northeast in general gets a negative, nasty, sort of personality connotation. But I think deep down, everybody's pretty cool. So I think that's my biggest thing.
Gotcha. Now, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. What do you consider Boston towns? Like what encapsulates Like what counts as Boston? Like
Yeah.
Somerville is not Boston, right?
Depends on who you ask.
No,
Yeah,
that's
right.
what it's you I'm asking.
No, yeah. I mean, Boston is Boston. I mean, it goes beyond Boston proper. You have the, Charlestown, Dorchester, Mattapan, Roxbury, Hyde Park, Allston, Brighton, Southie, East Boston. There's, I think, 23 neighborhoods in Boston. So, yeah, you're right. It goes beyond that. But if you're from, like, I don't know, Springfield, well, maybe Springfield thinks that they're from somewhere, but like if you're from like Wakefield, Massachusetts, and you're telling somebody, in London where you're from, you're not going to say, I'm from Wakefield, Massachusetts. We got a big lake in Wakefield. Like, that's pretty cool. But like, you might be like, I'm from Boston or, Massachusetts. Probably, I assume Massachusetts would turn the needle a little bit to somebody in Europe, but like if, Boston seems to be the thing. So yeah, for me, Boston is Boston. I don't tell people, I mean, if I'm traveling, I will tell people, yeah, I'm from Boston, even though I'm not from there now, right? I lived in Dorchester before, but yeah, because it's just easier to put it on a map.
I was going to say it's easier because most people know at least where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. I know which direction I'm going with this. Like, do you really want to know that you're from like West Bridgewater?
Yeah, because as soon as you say that, they're going to be like,
where's that?
Close to Boston?
Yeah. You can be like, so Boston? Yeah. Oh, Boston. Oh, Red Sox, right?
I just wasn't sure if you were passionate about it. We've had some guests who are very passionate about like what is considered Boston. Like, oh, they're not from Boston. They say they are, but I wasn't sure,
People are so dramatic.
You are Shawn in Boston, so I just want to make sure you're actually in
Shawn in Boston
proper,
yeah. Downtown. Oh, I get shit for that all the time. You don't show the outside neighborhoods. You're not going to Dorchester enough. And I'm like, well, my
What are you going to show? A bunch of multifamilies?
Well, right. I mean, that's the thing. And I lived in Dorchester for a couple of years. I love Dorchester. Dorchester has a horrible rep, but you know what? There's some bad eggs, but Dorchester is huge. It's the Boston's biggest neighborhood. So you're on one side, it's not bad at all. It's, you go a couple streets in, it's a little dicey, but Dorchester has a horrible rep, but you know what? It's a great neighborhood with so many amazing restaurants and awesome people that live there. And it's a working class neighborhood. And a lot of Boston doesn't have that anymore. And that's where I find myself fitting in more. I like going to Seaport, but I'm just like, I'm kind of like icked out by Seaport sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't belong with half of these people. But no, yeah, definitely. Like, so I get a lot of shit for not showing that, but my page is more tourism focused, right? So why am I going and showing triple deckers that I used to live in or like something like that, So yeah, that's sort of where I go with that. But yeah, so Boston is Boston, and Boston is not Somerville or Chelsea or anything like that. You get comments like that all the time. You know what I mean? Like, some lady commented the other day. I said, she was passionate. I said, I made a video. Her name was
Deborah, for sure.
Her name was Debbie or Karen probably, or something like that.
Debbie.
Yeah. I made a video asking like, where your favorite restaurants were outside of the North End in Boston, right? And of course, everybody commented, neighborhood restaurants that, in the suburbs, which is fine. I don't care. It's just a generating content.
Right.
It's nice to have a list for people. And so some lady was like going down the list, commenting on everybody's comment that wasn't in Boston. He said Boston. That's not Boston. I'm like, can you just shut the fuck up? Like, thanks for commenting.
She's got a Marlboro Red for sure and a Sammy Adams.
That's not Dorchester.
That's not fucking Dorchester, kid.
I'm like, thanks for commenting. It's great for engagement, but like, it's okay, Karen. Everything's going to be okay. Like,
right.
He said Cambridge. It's close enough. Like, it's right over the river. You'll be fine. Like, it's not a big deal. But yeah, some people are like, that's not Boston.
Take a breath.
Who gives a shit? Like, take a breath. Take a hit of that Marlboro Red, buddy. You'll be all right. Like, take a fucking chill pill over here.
Do you have a favorite neighborhood or place in Boston?
Everybody always asks me that. And I'm
going to be everybody.
I know. We did this on Ness, and they did a little cue card thing, and they were asking questions like that. I'm like, I struggle so hard with this. I love every neighborhood for different reasons, right? I love Dorchester for the reason I just told you. It's down home. It's blue collar. There's a lot of cool people there. But, I used to love Southie, but I kind of hate Southie now because it's so like yuppie and like annoying post-college kids that are like that just go to the beach Southie's beautiful, don't get me wrong, like the beaches are nice for city beaches and like it's cool, but like meh.
If you like jet fuel on you while you're
tanning. If you like watching the planes and like, I was gonna say dead bodies rolling up, but they don't really do that anymore in Southie.
Right, those are coming up in the harbor now. Those are pushed their way up towards the city.
Down the river, yeah. Whitey's gone, so you don't see the Southie side anymore, but now it's just some drunk idiot that falls in the river and everybody thinks he's a serial killer or something.
That's my favorite. The serial killer stuff is some of my favorite. I'm
Smiley
just like,
face.
ooh,
yeah,
this is amazing. And I'm looking at him like, that just looks like someone that had too much to drink.
You're in
at Lincoln.
You're right. You're in a city that's surrounded by water with no fences, and there's bars there everywhere. It's gonna
what can go wrong?
Right, exactly. And everybody, we're not going to go into autopsies for that stuff, but So yeah, I love downtown. Obviously, Seaport's fine. I don't mind Seaport. There's a lot of cool spots there. It's not my favorite place because it's so sterile. I do love Back Bay is really cool. I love walking around Back Bay, especially the the more planned streets, the Marlborough Street, the Com Ave, the really pretty brownstones and stuff like that. That's really cool. I love hanging out down there. And Beacon Hill's cool to walk around. Recently, starting to discover the South End, so we've been doing a little bit more of that. That's I call it the poor man's Beacon Hill because it's looks exactly the same as Beacon Hill, but Beacon Hill is where politicians and professors and super bougie, and the South End is I still can't afford to live in the South End, so I guess I'm the poor man. But yeah, those are sort of my neighborhoods. The North End is honestly I've been really embracing my North End vibes lately, loving the North End, trying different places all the time, restaurants.
Mike's or Modern? I need an answer.
Bova's.
Oh,
always.
Actually, that happened last time we asked someone, right? About Mike's and Modern Pastry, and they said Bova's, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
Who was that we had? I forget. Anyways, but
that's one of my bits I do all the time on my page, Mike's or Modern, because it gets people talking, right? And I always throw in that curveball with Bova's, and they're like, yeah, you're right, Bova's is the best, but Modern has this. I'm like, they're all good, honestly. Yeah. I honestly don't mind Mike's like people do. I mean, it's overrated. You're going to get yelled at by a 50-year-old Italian lady telling you it's cash only, but whatever, you're gonna get a decent cannoli, right? And then you go to Modern, and Modern's good too. It's just they're a little bit nicer over there. That's all. But there's actually this one place in the North End. You ever heard of Brico, the restaurant Brico?
Nope.
They have the best espresso martinis, but they also own this little deli. You have to go down an alley and go into this little door, and it's kind of creepy but pretty cool. You feel like you're getting something an experience out of it, right? So and then you get in there, and it's meat sticks hanging from the ceiling, and it's this little old Italian guy writing your order on paper. And I've been going there. It's $12 for a sub, and it's a pretty good deal for the North End. So that's been my vibe lately. Just these little Italian subs down an alley. You have to knock twice and lick a spoon or something to get in. I don't know. You have to have a password. But yeah, that's been pretty cool. Just getting in there. So that's been fun. Yeah, salami. It's Italian. I don't know whatever the fuck's on an Italian.
So then your favorite neighborhood is. You didn't really. You said a lot. Okay. I need one.
He gave you the press answer.
I know.
Shawn in Boston.
Very political answer there. Very democratic.
I have to make all my friends happy in Boston. No, right now it's probably the North End, honestly.
All right, so we're going North End and we're going Bova.
Bova's.
And then
sometimes Mike's and Modern.
He won't commit to it.
There's this cool restaurant in the North End. It's a little different. It's called Libertine, and the owners are super cool. And they have this thing. It's a Portuguese Italian fusion restaurant, which you don't see. That was sort of their
which
vibe.
Is pretty much the entire east population of Massachusetts.
Pretty much,
from Fall River down. It's Italians marrying a bunch of Portuguese.
And they get a lot of their product from down there, sausage and stuff is big. The chorizo and stuff. Yeah. Anyways, they have this cool thing. It's called I don't know if they call it a flaming sausage, but they literally light a fucking sausage on fire and put it on your table.
That's
so
crazy.
Cool. That's one of those differently unique things in the North End that I love too. But
I've spent time in the North End. I've honestly really only gotten Mike's. I've never had Modern or Bova before.
Right.
And I've only gone to Giacomo's.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been there.
It's really good, but it's a really tiny spot.
Yeah,
and
all of them. Yeah, right.
Christ on earth, they could really use an AC in there. I mean, it's so hot, and you're already eating hot food, so you're just sweating.
Eating a meatball.
The amount of people that they move in and out in this tiny spot is insane.
They're quick.
That's the one thing about the North End. If you're going to go, in my experience as a Rhode Islander traveling to the city, if you're going to go, you'll wait 40 minutes for a table, and then 40 minutes from the time you get your table to when you're done, dessert check signed is 30 minutes. If you're lucky. Yeah. You gotta be ready to go.
Always have after dinner plans because you'll be I guess I got to drive home. It's only 8 o'clock right now. Okay. I just sat down at 7:45. But no, I mean, that's the testament. They're small. They want to get as many people in and out, especially restaurants. You thrive on volume because there's not much profit margin in restaurants. Food costs are so high. These guys are just trying to make it, right? So yeah, get people in and out, especially when you have a tiny little restaurant.
Right.
That's why street dining was huge for them for a long time.
Right.
Which has been since stripped away.
Okay, so then I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Again.
Let's, I'll make it easier for you. I'll give you a top 3. Top 3 places to eat in Boston. You have all the time in the world.
Okay. I don't really like that.
For his friends back there, we just had a clock ticking.
Jeopardy. Okay, so I think for Italian, you got to go. I am super into Brico recently.
Brico.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Brico. They're owned by I think Deep Pasquale Ventures. It's a group that owns a bunch of restaurants in the North End. They're super solid. They have all kinds of restaurants. They're really cool. So that's Italian Brico. Bomb espresso martinis. You know what I'm actually liking lately? Pistachio martinis.
Ooh,
Do you like pistachio ice cream?
Yes.
It's like that, but melted.
Oh.
There's a new pistachio coffee at Dunkin.
Oh, what are you, a Dunkin's guy or something? I forgot. Trying to get that brand deal.
It is delicious.
Yeah.
What would you say was the hardest thing to learn growing up?
Probably learning how to like use, save, or spend money.
You legit worked in banking, did you not?
You're welcome.
Are you still with Dime Bank or are you too Hollywood now?
Okay, rude, but yes, I am.
Imagine your followers finding out you're with a Connecticut-based bank.
Okay, first of all, they have a branch in Wesley, Rhode Island, which is where we grew up. So really that's brownie points because I'm sticking to my roots. Second, I think everyone would appreciate that I'm with a bank that knows and understands their community. Their tagline is legit, community banking lives here.
Hey, I'm not asking you to sell me on it. I've been banking with them for years, and they know me on a first-name basis. I'm just saying I'm surprised is all. I can see the headlines now. Mr. Anti-Connecticut actually banks with local community bank?
Okay, you know what? Follow along with me here. They're FDIC insured, equal housing lenders, wicked friendly. They take care of all my personal needs, have expansive products to help all my businesses, offer lending across the board, merchant services. What more could I possibly want or need? And you know that I secretly like Connecticut, so...
Oh, I hope you heard that, folks. Dime Bank is the reason Ian loves Connecticut.
Okay, you're ridiculous. Funny story, though. You know how they have like the mobile app with like banking, Lifesaver, you can do all the deposits. Have you tried to teach your mom how to do the mobile deposit
No.
yet? I was teaching my mom how to do it, and she takes a selfie instead of the check. Visit dimebank.com to learn more.
There's a great restaurant in Falmouth called Bucatino and down the Cape.
Yes.
Great Italian restaurant.
Yes.
Love that
My
place.
wife's family has a home over there.
Oh, yeah?
I guess my in-laws.
Yeah, I grew up going to Falmouth my whole life.
Yeah, it's really nice over there.
It is.
And that's a good spot.
Bucatino is great. Very like North End quality outside of the North End, which is cool. So bad under pressure when it comes to restaurant names.
That's okay. The whole world's listening. No problem.
Oh my God. All 16 people. Oh my God.
That's great.
Okay, so Brico in the North End is probably my current favorite. That Libertine place is very good too. They'd probably on my top 3 as well. They do a really good product there. I'm trying to like split this up between neighborhoods, make it a little easier for me to think about.
Sorry, we'll split this. We'll make
Can you cut
this.
this
We'll
part
make
out?
it. We're gonna make it sound.
Do you want to phone a friend? Hold on. Yeah. Do you want to phone a
Can
friend?
I phone a friend?
I can give you some. Marielle, Saver, Raffles.
Never been to any of these places.
I felt like when you were
can
talking,
pretend.
you just like you flowed with all these restaurant names that you were gonna be able to say this easy.
If you say West End, Johnny's is going to be very happy.
Oh, you know what? You should go to West End Johnny's Reggae Brunch on Sunday mornings. He does an amazing job there. You listen to a little reggae. You know, and that's not even me joking. That is a good one. You're right. West
Okay,
End Johnny's
so
Reggae Brunch. Okay, so Brico, you want a good brunch? West End Johnny's Reggae Brunch. I know everybody listening is just used to going to West End Johnny's getting pissed drunk when you were in college, but go back on Sunday mornings after you've been pissed drunk and you're going to wake right the fuck up and get an amazing brunch. And also go there to get pissed drunk because kids don't fucking drink these days, apparently. That's what I've been told by some of these owners. So
That's what he said.
yeah, they tell me they're too busy smoking weed and drinking at home. So go wait in line. It's amazing time. Tell them Shawn sent you. I don't think I can really get you anything, but like Johnny's a cool guy and you'll have some fun with that. So just I need every person going there to tell him Shawn said hi to Johnny, and maybe that'll bug him a little bit, but it'll be funny. Okay, so we got West End Johnny's for brunch, which is cool. And I got to go with the Dubliner. I know it's another bar, but like I'm not a super fancy restaurant person. The Dubliner is that Irish place that my friend Oren owns, but they really do. That's where Ed Sheeran was.
Yes.
But they really just put on a great show when it comes to food. Like they're not super. They're traditional Irish food with like a nice twist. So like you think of food from England, the UK, Ireland, whatever. It's like meh, but they put on this twist. They have like professional chefs there, and like they do a really good job. So that is a good spot too as well. So I would definitely recommend there. They do I think something called Sunday. Oh my God, they're gonna kill me if I say this wrong. Sunday dinner, Sunday roast, Sunday something, and that's like a big thing that they do there too on Sundays. So I think it's like a traditional Irish thing. I have yet to go, but I hear it's really good. So that's a cool spot. He actually just opened I've been wanting to go there McGonagall's in Dorchester, they just opened, and I've heard the food there is amazing. I get to go there to get some like fish and chips. Speaking of fish and chips, actually, okay, I've been influenced here. Castle Island in South Boston.
Okay.
There's a place called Sullivan's, and it's a little bit, it's a higher tier than just like a clam shack. It's like, it's a nicer clam shack actually, but so you go in there, yeah, they got fish and chips. Their clam chowder's wicked good. The hot dogs, they're known for their fucking hot dogs there, which I've never had, but I've heard they're really good. All kinds of stuff. So that's a cool spot. It's on Castle Island, so it's like a little fort, like a revolutionary fort, and you can walk around there at night. It's such a vibe, like sunset and stuff. Watch the cruise ships come and go from the city, and that's really cool too. So
That's awesome.
Sully's
It's
on
more of
Castle
a
Island.
runner-up because it's not a restaurant. So that
It
can
is
be
technically a takeout restaurant, so.
I gotta be honest with you. You went from not having one to mentioning 9, and none of them were like, "This is number 2 and this one's number 3."
No, because I'm not doing that.
You
for
are
that.
being so evasive here.
I
love
want
it.
everybody to be supportive.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, then let's just get really into it. What's the most overrated thing to do in Boston?
I love Boston.
You don't have to name drop.
Seaport. I mean, Seaport, I think is very overrated. I mean, there's cool spots within Seaport that you should 100% check out, but the whole Seaport thing is just overrated.
Like the obsession that's kind of drummed up over the last
don't
like
get me wrong,
5 years or so.
Amazing restaurants, great things to do, like Flight Club and Kings and Putt Shack, all kinds of cool things. F1 racing is a cool thing that's in Seaport. There's so many cool things you can do there, but go there and just like leave. Like go to Seaport, get dinner at a cool restaurant, go have some fun, but then go somewhere else after. I don't know what you're gonna do after, but like I don't know. It's just I get like that feeling in Seaport where I'm just ready to go. Like everybody's just kind of like in their own little world. You know what I mean?
Right. I've only been once. I went to Moxie's.
Yeah, it's not a cool spot. I mean, that is a cool spot. Yeah,
I was with Tommy Garino and Prosciutto Papi, and
Was
those
it-
guys are like the kings there. So
Right.
like, you know, I felt like
Was it-
disconnected.
Was
So
it for the Mark Wahlberg event?
it was the Instigators movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, after the Instigators stuff. We
Mark
went to, like,
Wahlberg
a
had an
screening.
event there when he was introducing his tequila line or something.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't end up going because I told my friends I would hang out with them one day and they wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory, so I ended up going there instead of a Mark Wahlberg event. Well, that happens. What can you do, right? But yeah, so I would say
Hot take though, Cheesecake Factory is my favorite restaurant.
right, Oreo cheesecake is my favorite there.
Ooh, I'm a key lime pie guy. So, but the Oreo cheesecake is phenomenal.
It is
I've had
really
like every cheesecake from there. I'm just, you know,
They're pretty good.
I know,
Well, it's the
I love-
biggest menu on earth. You're flipping through it and there's
It's
like
never bad.
There's like NASCAR
Give me the
ads in there
GMOs.
and like why are there ads inside my menu? Like what is happening here?
Cheesecake Factory is brought to you by NASCAR.
Yeah, like what is happening? Like why are there so many ads in this book? Like I know, but they have a Skinnylicious menu too. Have you ever seen that there?
I have, yes. I flip right through that.
No, I kind of go to that. Like saving room for the
I was like, I
cheesecake.
am not here to worry about my diet. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, so that Seaport's definitely overrated. I mean, people say that places like Faneuil Hall are overrated and stuff, but you have to see them for what they are, right? It's for tourists. There is some stuff for locals that you can do and see there, but you have to see these places for what they are. They're on the Freedom Trail. It's meant to be a tourist place. People always say, oh, that's a tourist trap. Yep, that's what it is. It's for tourists, right?
Right.
Doesn't mean that they're lesser or bad or anything. It's just like the duck boats. I totally understand people saying that, but again, it's for tourists. It's for people who haven't seen the city. And duck boats are fucking unique as hell. You don't see those anywhere else. Like,
Right.
where else is there a tour that goes from the street to the ocean to the river, and that you don't really see that. You know, you think you're gonna die because the water's like up to here on the windows, but it's like they're fun. And you start quacking at people. They tell you to quack at people on the street. It's annoying when you're walking because all you hear is quack, quack, quack. And you're like, what the fuck?
That's so New England. Love that.
Oh yeah, the tour guy was like, "Give him a quack," and I'm like, "What the fuck am I listening to over here? Like, do not quack at me, please. I'm not
If
quacking.
you guys are ever on the Duck Bowl in Boston, you see Shawn, make sure you quack in.
Quack
please.
as loud as you can. I'll fucking flip you off, bitch from Chicago or whatever your name is.
I love that. Okay, then. So I'm going to put you on the spot even more.
Again, that's great.
Tourist comes into town. They're coming to Boston. What are they doing? Like, walk me through a day. Like, where should they go? What should they see? What should they eat? Like, what could a full day in Boston? What would you say would encapsulate like a full Boston experience so that they feel like they saw it, but they only had a day?
Right. So, I mean, if you're looking into Boston, if you're looking at tourist sites, if you know Boston, kinda, what do you know about Boston? You know, the history is the biggest draw to the city, right? Besides sports, but that's sort of like an afterthought for a tourist, I feel like.
Yeah.
So yeah, the history thing. So the Freedom Trail is probably the biggest tourist attraction in Boston. You start at the State House, you work your way through all like the revolutionary experiences. You get to see Sam Adams' grave, Paul Revere, John Hancock, which is really cool. You work your way to the old State House, right, where the Boston Massacre happened. You work your way through Quincy Market and Faneuil Hall, where so many of these amazing meetings happened, and with the Sam Adams and the Reveres of the world planning the American Revolution, right, inside Faneuil Hall. You go in there, you check that out for a little bit. That's super cool. And then you walk your way. Which way does it go? It goes towards the north end, right? And then I don't think there's anything. Oh my God, they'll kill me. Revolutionary Spaces runs it. They'll kill me if I don't miss that. But you go towards the north end and you eventually cross over into Charlestown, and you walk through Charlestown. You end at the Bunker Hill Monument, which is super cool. So you could end there and there's plenty of restaurants in Charlestown. Charlestown's a beautiful little neighborhood. You can end there, but you can also walk back into the city, obviously. So for me, I would, you could do a backwards. I've actually told people to do this. Do a backwards Freedom Trail thing. You start in Charlestown, like Uber there, and then you work your way back into the city wherever your hotel is, right? And then you can get lunch or dinner there or something. So you don't have to walk 2 miles, whatever it is, all the way back. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So you start there, you get breakfast at West End Johnny's on Sunday, and then you start the Freedom Trail, and then you come back into the city, and then you get lunch somewhere. I mean, there's so many places for lunch. You go to the little Brico deli that I like in the North End. That's on your way back in. And then you end the night at the top of the Prudential Center at View Boston, watch the sunset go down. That's my absolute favorite thing. Or if it's summertime, head over to the Esplanade on the Charles River, get yourself like a blanket, get some sushi or something, and just hang out and watch the sun go down. That's such a cool spot at night. So
awesome. That's a great answer.
Is that good?
Savage answer.
That was really good. You missed the duck boat and going to see Fenway Park. I mean,
okay, but you only have one day. How much time do you have here? You should give me 2 days.
I mean, if you're a history buff, sure, but
Fenway was on day 2.
All right, then take us through day 2.
So day 2, right? Okay, we're starting.
I feel like you're prepared. So
we're starting at Flower Bakery. Now it's a chain, but they have like 4. So is it really a chain? Not really. But they have some really good sandwiches and some really good pastries and coffee. So really good everything, right? I think it's better than Tate. Have you ever heard of Tate?
No.
It's just,
you're talking to Rhode Island guys, man. We don't know any of this stuff. Everything you said
I know
so
what
far.
you're talking about. Yeah, Tate.
Oh,
you know Tate?
How do you know?
My wife.
How does she know?
She likes Tate.
This is bullshit.
Exactly.
I'm not buying this.
she liked Tata.
It's like a little bougie, like girl.
Oh, super bougie.
But they have some good stuff in there. But it's also like $6 for a slice of like, I got this poppy seed lemon cake last week, and it was like this for like $7. I'm like, all right. Yeah. So, anyways,
This is why we stay in Rhode Island.
right, I know, right? Flour, I don't know if it's much better price wise, but like it's less bougie, and they get some really good stuff. Anyway, so you go to Flour, and then work your way to the duck boats at Prudential Center. You can pick it up there, right? Because we're gonna stay in this area now. So you go to Flour on Dalton Street, right? And then you go to the Prudential Center, which is a couple blocks over. You get on the duck boat. It does your quacking thing. You come back. You come back, and then what time is it now? Like maybe like 1 o'clock. So like after that, what can you do at 1 o'clock? You can walk to the Prudential Center for a little bit if you want, but that's like a mall. Is it? How much fun is that, right? So after that, okay, where are we gonna go? We're gonna just go to Fenway, right? So we're gonna go to Fenway, and then you're gonna take a tour of Fenway, and then it's summertime, so you're gonna get Red Sox tickets, and they kind of suck. So tickets are like $20, so that's not bad. You can take a whole family. You're gonna pay more for a bottle of water than you are the tickets, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, so we did the tour in the morning. That's like an hour. You saw everything. You saw the Green Monster. They bring you to the top of the Green Monster. They bring you to the press box. That's pretty cool. And now we're going to the Red Sox game. So that ends, but it's a day game. So that's not bad. So you're going to end that at like 4 o'clock. Now you got to get dinner. So you're probably going to go to Eastern Standard in Fenway. Is a pretty cool spot. I'm actually trying, they have another restaurant called Italian Standard trying it tomorrow. I'm excited for that. So next time I come back on the podcast, that may be on my like top list, right? So we're going to go to Eastern Standard, and then we're going to just end the night, grab like a couple seltzers or something at the liquor store, and then go over to the Esplanade and just watch the sunset go down. I really don't know how the timeline. Yeah, right.
I'm in.
I don't know how the timeline worked with this whole thing. I don't know if the sun is actually still up on that.
It sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Close
Honestly,
enough.
it's your recommendation, so it doesn't have to be that the sun's up or down at any particular time.
Anyways, yeah. So
that hour, the smiley face killer might be getting you. If you're
I didn't know this podcast had the peanut gallery over there. Wow.
You said they were your security.
They are my security. Don't mess with them. They don't carry guns, though. They carry tasers, so that hurts more.
I thought the Prudential, wasn't there a restaurant at the top of the Prudential? Is that still there, or is that, because you said the View, but.
Yeah, so it used to be top of the hub.
Okay.
They completely shut down and gutted it. So it used to be It used to be the observation deck at the 50th floor, and then at the top used to be what did I just say? The hub.
The hub restaurant. I don't know.
Yeah, top of the hub.
Top
That
of
used
the
to be
hub,
like
yeah.
a super bougie, like kind of stuck in the past type of restaurant, right? Like old school. They completely shut down, gutted it. Now you have access to all 3 floors when you're there as a tourist, right? I was just there last night, actually. And yeah, it's super cool. So there's a restaurant on the 50th floor. There's a restaurant on the 50th floor. On the 51st floor, there's like a bistro / outdoor observation deck, which is super cool. The top floor is an indoor observation deck, and it's like amazing floor to ceiling windows, and it's pretty cool. It's very it's very New York, Chicago vibe up there. It's pretty cool. If you've ever been to those places. Yeah. I was there last night for a gala, actually. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. It's fun.
I do galas now, apparently. So.
Look at you go, huh?
Thank you, Let's Meet Boston, for getting me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was actually for the a foundation called the Greg Hill Foundation.
Oh yeah, Greg Hill, WEI. Yeah.
They're amazing, yeah, and they do so much cool charity work. Like, they help so many people around the city, restaurants, people who have been victimized, fire, whatever it is, Boston Marathon bombing survivors, which is super, super cool. So yeah, it's always cool going. They put on insanely fun events too. They hosted us at Loco. They had an event at Loco over for St. Patrick's Day, and if you saw that video, that's where that was, and it was so much fun. They put on a good show, but you have to. You got to keep people engaged, raise money. I mean, I think last night was their anniversary gala party, and I think they've hit $30 million in 15 years or something.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. I think it was like 10,000 people they've helped, which is insane.
Yeah,
Love
that.
So I've never actually met him. He was there, but he seems like a super cool guy. And Ernie Buck Jr. was there and making
Ernie Buck Jr.
everything you're looking for.
The jingle of the
He
nation.
plays the guitar too. He's pretty cool. He didn't last
awesome.
night, but yeah, he donated a ton of money last night. And more rich guys should do that. Nobody talks about that more.
Wait, is Ernie Buck? Didn't he just sell his dealership? No,
Herb Chambers did.
Herb Chambers.
I want Herb Chambers money. Oh, Ernie Buck Jr. money is probably pretty good too, but like Herb Chambers money is like.
Yeah, now he sold it for like a couple $1 billion. Something crazy.
It's not that much. A couple Hondas or insane. He always had the most expensive dealerships. When I remember growing up, my parents looking for a car, and like Herb Chambers is the crazy one, like super expensive, but clearly it works, obviously. So,
is there anything you wish Boston had more of?
More of?
Yeah, like nightlife or particular. I don't know. Less people, more people, better roads, no potholes.
Definitely better roads. I think you see potholes for like 15 years in the same spot. It wouldn't take much just to put like a little bit of concrete in it or something or a cone would be nice. Boston, the nightlife is like okay. Like Boston gets it's not like. Providence is obviously like a little Boston, but
absolute snooze fest.
Yeah, right. But like, and people act like Boston has no nightlife. Like it maybe it has a negative.
Some people I follow, they constantly complain that Boston sucks. And doesn't have a good nightlife.
Right, and because it closes early, that's why everything's done by 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like, by then I'm ready to go to bed anyways. I'm I'm old.
Go to bed.
Right.
What are you doing past 2 a.m.?
I was in New Orleans last year, and we were out till 5 every night for 3 nights in a row. That shit was insane. Like, that's too much for me. But 2:00, get over yourself. It's fine. But Boston has definitely gotten better. There's a group called Big Night Live, and they have opened so many amazing places. Memoir at Encore, all kinds of places downtown. It's just they put on a great show, and it's all these super world-class city type of nightclubs and stuff. So that's cool. There's a bunch of them to pick from. But my biggest beef with people is that they try to compare cities, and I fucking hate that.
The people make the city, in my opinion.
Boston is not New York. Boston is not Paris. Boston
New York
is
fucking
not,
wishes.
Right. New York suck my ass. Boston is not any of these places, right? Yeah, suck my ass. Yeah. Dirty.
I'm about it.
Okay.
Well, the insult.
We're going.
I'm sorry.
Time to go home.
Yeah. I thought it was a great insult. I was with
No, that's my favorite insult. But accept it for what it is. You're going to go to a dive bar, or you're going to go to a nightclub, or there's some places in between that are opening, Moxie's, places like that. There's so much investment in Boston now, and it was happening before COVID, but you're starting to see it way more now. There's so much to see. I don't want to fucking hear it from these crybabies that New York has this, Paris has that. I don't give a shit. This is Boston. Shut up.
Yeah. Go there.
I actually have a video that I said that in. It went viral.
I love that.
Good.
I made a t-shirt, and they sold out, so it was pretty cool.
Speaking of like cities, so I went to London like 2 years ago.
3 years ago.
Was it 3 years ago? I went straight from Ireland. I went to London because we went to Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. The parade was very different than Boston. Yeah. Boston is way more Irish than Ireland is on St. Patrick's Day. It was pretty crazy. Still a cool parade, but it was like kind of small. It was more artsy than it was. It was more a celebration of like art and culture than it was.
So it's more
let's
cultural.
get fucked up and just give high fives and nips to everybody.
Yeah. Right. So many nips this year.
Yeah.
Insane.
So, but it was like, it's still really wet that time of year. So my wife and I, we went to London and it was the first time I'd ever been. She'd been before. And I will say that London is like New York City with Boston's architecture. And it was just like clean and safe.
Right.
Like I was walking around, I was like, wow, it's really nice when it doesn't smell like piss and diapers.
Yeah, right.
Like New York.
New York does.
I was like, but also, wow, this is actually a really beautiful building to look at. It's not just like a glass tower that's...
I get that all the time.
I'm
Boston, people always say Boston is like a European city. It looks just like...
Legit, yeah.
I'll get so many London references and stuff like that. I've never been. I'm dying to go to London. I think
It's
that'd be so
great.
cool.
It's
I think
great.
I'd feel very comfortable there because like you said, it's a big city with like a small vibe to it, right?
Right, exactly.
That's what I love. Just like Boston's like that, but on a smaller scale than London. London's a huge city, obviously. But yeah, that's my beef with people.
Yeah, nothing ever really, like, when I was there, nothing really took me by surprise. I was like, wow, I've never seen anything like this. I was like,
I've seen it.
fucking Faneuil Hall. I was like, that's Buckingham Palace. I was like, that's fucking Faneuil Hall.
Same thing.
With curtains. And some old lady that's making money for doing nothing.
She's dead now, but
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Whoops.
rest in peace.
All right. Yeah, rest in peace. I don't know. I've heard a lot of things, so I don't know.
Well, I don't. Do we not?
Do we say rest in peace?
Oh,
or
we're
just
kind of Irish.
Rest
I don't
easy.
know.
I don't know.
I mean, we have Irish lineage. We're not supposed to like her.
I said, well, I'm Irish and English, so like
Okay.
I often, I'm pretty
That's
worried that I'm
conflicting.
the English, where the Irish
Yeah.
are like, get the fucking Brits out now. All right, let's jump into, we've been talking Boston and New England this entire time, so organically, we're just going to continue to talk about it, but I'm going to ask you some New England-based questions. How well-traveled are you through New England? You've been to all 6 states?
Yeah. I've been. Yeah, maybe not for long periods of time, but yeah, I've been to every state.
All right, so if I asked you to rank in order.
Connecticut's dead last always.
Yep, okay, well, there
If
you
you
go.
have if you have a majority Yankee fan population, you can suck it.
Exactly. So give us an order
Anyways.
in your New England states. I
So
love
there's
it.
6, right? So we'll start with 6. Connecticut. No, I'm just kidding. Massachusetts, obviously my home. It has to be number 1 because I love it and it has Boston, right? Number 2. I've had a lot of fun in Maine too, on the coast, right? But New Hampshire is probably number 2 because I live really close to New Hampshire. Well, I've lived really close to New Hampshire, and you can get like tax-free TVs and stuff. Just crossing the line. So like probably number 2 for tax-free savings, but only if you're going to spend like $1,000 because I'm not driving all the way to New Hampshire to save like 15 cents. That's stupid, right? So like $1,000, it's 6%. You're probably 6.25%. You're saving like $65, so it's worth it, right?
Right.
So that's a tip. You can cut this part of the podcast and use it as a clip to like give people like tips, right? God. Anyways, number 3, probably Maine. I like Maine a lot. Maine has like fun, like Maine is a lot like Massachusetts, where it has like cool coastal vibes and then also like inland vibes. I mean, it obviously has more mountainous and forests and stuff than Massachusetts, but it still has like the kind of like the best of both worlds. Also, I love Massachusetts because of the Cape. We have the Cape. I love the Cape Cod
love the Cape,
and the islands, and that's like such a vibe. I love that, as you know, obviously. What was that?
Never been to Nantucket or
Me neither.
Martha's Vineyard.
I've been to Martha's Vineyard.
Never been.
Nantucket, I've heard, is very bougie and like Karen-y, and I'm not. Martha's Vineyard is like the cheap even though it's not cheap, it's like the low budget version of Nantucket. It's like more party, like more like just it's more of a fun vibe, I think. I've been to Martha's Vineyard. It's very pretty.
Have you ever been to Block Island?
No, I haven't been. I've heard good things about it.
Block Island is the poor version of Nantucket.
That's what I've heard. I love that. Yeah, we all have our little denominations.
We all have
here,
our little island for some reason.
right? Okay, so number 4 would probably be Vermont because it's really cool up there, like mountains and like sightseeing and stuff like that. New Hampshire also, I like New Hampshire because it has like a lot of cool environmental stuff like this, cool waterfalls in the mountains, and like there's so much to see when you go north of like Manchester. There's so much to see up there. So Vermont, Rhode Island, I'm going to put it at 5 only because I haven't had a chance to like explore it yet.
Well, you're here today. Let's
I
see
know.
if that changes.
We're going
at
to
all.
change it. I'll come back in a couple of weeks and we'll make a new decision. But I've heard Newport's really cool, right? Is that where the big houses are?
Yes, that's where all the mansions are.
Yeah, I would love to go check that out. And Providence, from what I've seen, is pretty cool looking too. I've only been here a couple times, so
Providence ain't bad.
it looks
it's
pretty.
okay.
I'm sure you go a little further out, it's not going to be too pretty like most cities. But we'll stick to the downtown area tonight.
Yeah, it'll take you about 5 minutes to walk this whole city, and you'll be good.
I know, right? And then Connecticut just dead last because they think they have good pizza, and they probably do, but like I don't. You're also half Yankees fans. I'm just not feeling that.
That's the worst. A great segue.
Yeah, and they think they're from New York. You're like from cheap New York.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I would say, I don't know, because I feel like the very wealthy New Yorkers go to Connecticut. The ones who don't want to be,
Right, good
the
point.
ones who have families.
right. Yeah, but I meant
keep
like
their,
more
they
like
keep their mistress and their girlfriend in the city,
right.
and then they have their wives.
yeah.
out in
Like if
Greenwich.
you work in like Wall Street, your girlfriend, your mistress has to live in like somewhere like Brooklyn or somewhere accessible
Right.
to Wall Street, but then your wife and the kids are like in Greenwich or something.
Exactly.
So they're enough distance. It's close enough so you can enjoy it, but enough so they don't find out
Exactly.
until they
What
do.
a book this is. That's crazy. I love that. That's fucking
Until they do
awesome.
find out, and then that's more of a book.
Yeah.
That's like the third chapter.
Yeah, that's,
Like,
Then they find out that there's a babysitter involved.
Oh, yeah.
But she's from Dumbo because she's
from Dumbo.
Yeah, she's very quirky.
I also hate Dumbo, but yeah. Had some crazy kids there once. I hated them all. They were assholes, but yeah, and because then like the end of that book is more like where the murder happens, and it gets messy.
the cliffhanger in the book
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's when the serial killer from Boston gets involved.
Yeah, it's smiley face. And then like the Karen Reed stuff comes in there and like it wasn't me, it was the cops. Okay, that might get me in trouble too. Oh my God.
I love it.
I'm gonna have all the pink hat Karen Reed people coming after me
Yeah.
now.
All right. So we, on the topic of the Yankees sucking, Boston sports, rank them in order for
Red
me.
Sox always at the top because I love history. They're the most historic team in the city. Obviously, they're probably the oldest. Yeah, they're the oldest team. I also am a hardcore Fenway Park person. Like
Gotcha.
I live and die by Fenway Park. I will spend every night there in the summertime if I can. Like it's so much. I just love it. You don't even watch the game. You're just there for the vibes. Like Fenway Park in the summertime, where the sun's going down. It is such a vibe. You have like a $30
Sweet
beer.
Caroline.
You're playing Sweet Caroline for the 500th time in your life. Like, all the words. Oh, yeah.
Better every time.
It's better every time. Yeah. My ears are bleeding, but yeah, that is a vibe. So Fenway, Celtics, definitely. Celtics, because I feel like they've been more fun recently.
Yeah.
Bruins are just absolute tanking, but the Celtics are a good time. The games are fun, like
Always.
And you know what? Like you can really connect at basketball games more because there's no boards like like a hockey game, right? It's a smaller court. You're kind of like on top of everyone,
Right.
So Celtics probably number 2, 3 Bruins because Bruins games are insane. They're tons of fun, especially when
so
they're
much
winning,
fun.
like wild. And I love all the teams realistically, but you're making me do this, so so definitely the Bruins number 3 and Patriots. I've never been a huge football person. Imagine that.
Wow.
No, I want to get into the influencer booth though. I've never been in there though.
We'll talk after this.
Concerts, Coldplay's coming up. I'm like,
They're doing 2 shows.
oh my God, I know. But yeah, so Gillette, it's just also, it's hard for me to get there. Gillette is a pain from where we are, from where from north of
Spoken
Boston.
like a true New Englander.
It's a pain in the ass. It's so far away. And
I know.
Getting through the city is hard, especially, at rush hour and stuff. And until recently, I had a job where I worked weekends. So I never really got a chance to like get super into that whole football vibe because I had to work all the time, which is fine. But
We also haven't really been winning that much, so it's
right,
like,
so like a couple of
you're
years, it's like I'm kind of like letting it pass, and maybe I'll become a fan eventually. But yeah, so those are my teams, definitely awesome.
Gotcha. Okay, so if you were able to bring in another state into Rhode Island, so you could join us in.
Wait, into Rhode Island?
Into New England.
Okay.
If you could bring one more state into New England,
We're gonna add a
make it the 7th state. It could be another country if you want. I know you said you've only been to Bermuda, so you don't know. You haven't been to these. But
Right.
if you know enough about it, you seem like you're pretty
Bermuda's
knowledgeable.
cool. If we could have Bermuda off the coast, that'd be sick. I love that. Same weather and everything, like Bermuda weather, just
yeah,
off the
everything
coast.
that comes up here.
Yeah, it just has to be like
joins
a
us.
bubble of warmth off the coast. Another state. That'd be cool. This is a cool question. I wish you told me about this beforehand. I would have thought about it more. But
I like putting you on the spot.
no
'Cause
kidding.
You never know what the hell's going to happen. Apparently.
Florida is like kind of gross, so probably not Florida.
That's
like-
not what I brought in at all.
Like man from Florida. Which one? California. Okay. California is cool because there's so much diversity in terms of landscape there, and like
Right.
you can be like at the top and be in a different world than you are at the bottom, right? And
Right.
I've only been to San Francisco, so I'd like to have California more, and I think I could see it more if it was close. So if we could just like pick it up and move it here, that'd be sick. That'd be really cool.
All right, so we're going. That's the first time we've had a few Californias. Shannon, right?
2 or 3. No.
Now I'm not
Maybe.
unique.
I don't remember.
Wait, how do I be unique in this then? I have to say like something weird.
Pick
like
something
Panama.
different. No, just kidding.
Panama.
Panama seems
There
like
we
They got
go.
the canal.
Yeah, the
Trump
canal.
wants them. Part of us. We got the Cape Cod Canal. All right, Panama. We're bringing Panama in. West Coast feed Panama.
First time we heard Panama.
Yeah, there you
First,
go.
one
All
for
right,
one.
So Panama
All
it is. I think Bermuda was a good answer too.
Bermuda
Yeah,
would be
Bermuda
great.
was a good answer.
So we'll do Bermuda, California, then Panama.
We might as
Those
well
are your
bring
top
Canada
3.
in because we're already kind of getting them. So
That's kind of like Vermont, Maine. There's like a kind of a mix of that already
yeah,
going
you're
on.
right.
So
okay, maybe the UK. Like in general,
All of it.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
like,
Bring the whole fucking
yeah,
thing.
like you have to be Ireland to Scotland to England, all of them at the same time. I think that'd be cool.
I love this. So we're just replacing New England with an entire. It's almost like we fucking got away from them on purpose and created New England, but that's fine. We'll just bring them all back
branched off
anyways.
the United States.
New England, New England. Yeah, third England. Australia seems cool.
Australia does seem cool.
They seem like British people
you
without the
refuse
attitude.
to give me one singular answer on any of these things.
Because
I'm
I
like,
know.
give me your
Can't.
top one. You're like,
ADD,
you can't. Here's
whatever it's
mine.
called. Yeah.
We can't do it. We can't do Australia.
I love
The
it.
bugs can't do it.
Oh, big bugs.
They're huge.
Kangaroos.
Steroids.
Kangaroos punch people.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. I love that.
They're
Can't do
fucking
it.
insane. Do you ever see the video of the guy?
Yeah.
His dog was drowning and
Yeah.
he like beat the shit out of the
He's
kangaroo.
got to fight the
I
kangaroo
love that
for his
video.
dog.
I
That
love that.
kangaroo is yoked.
I love
It's
it.
huge, dude.
That dude is yoked up.
Yeah, terrifying. Imagine your poor little
0.01%
dog.
body fat.
That made me so sad seeing that. But the guy, I was glad the kangaroo
real.
lost. Yeah.
My dog, I have a dachshund, so she would have just like jumped
yeah.
into the little sack and just been
yeah.
like, this is fine.
It's probably airtight.
Yeah.
Like a little submarine. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Okay, New England food. New England specific food.
Like my favorite.
Yep, top three. I'm giving you three options.
I was told that fish and chips is not New England specific because it's from it originated in England, but
Right.
I feel like it's been adopted here as like a New England, like it's synonymous with New England, right?
Let me know when you go to Montana and get fish and chips.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It sucks
You know,
ass.
you get it here.
Right. So fish and
You
chips.
don't want it in Florida.
No, you don't want it in
Christ.
Florida.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
It'd be
my
like
God.
alligator
Yeah,
chips or
it's-
something nasty. Or something.
Isn't it wild
Actually,
how the
alligator's
seafood...
not that bad. It's got like a little.
I didn't try
it's like
it.
a little spice.
I
to
was
it,
in
but
Louisiana last year and I forgot to try it. I did
Seafood-
forget
It wasn't
cheap.
that. I mean, it was like kind of spicy chicken.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Seafood in Florida sucks.
Does
Yeah.
it?
Isn't that wild?
You ever had like a
All
Florida
that coastline
lobster?
is terrible.
Yeah, but it depends. Like, where's it coming from? That's the thing. When you eat
Yeah.
seafood, you're eating haddock, cod, lobster, right? It doesn't
Right.
come from there. So that's probably the biggest
Right,
thing, I assume.
yeah.
Where you're eating tropical fish? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, no.
That's probably why. Seafood in the whole country sucks except here. This is like the
Right.
mecca.
Right.
Right. Yes, I'll
Fish
give
and
it to you.
chips, clam chowder is really good.
Chowder.
But don't put bacon in the clam chowder.
Ooh.
What is
I've
wrong with
never
these
done that
people?
before.
These assholes put bacon in it. And I'm
It's
like,
have to try
usually
that.
supposed to be like
no,
the-
don't try it. It just tastes like bacon. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah. It's
I've never been upset about the taste of bacon.
Too much. It's too much.
Too much.
So- And then you go to New York and it's red clam chowder.
They really
Gross.
suck there.
They suck a lot.
They do nothing
Streets
right.
smell like piss.
Yep.
What else? You know what? I've never really been a huge seafood guy, which I'm getting better with seafood. I'm trying to diversify.
I'm trying to follow you here.
No, fish and chips
Your
doesn't
top
count.
three New England
No,
food.
I know. Yeah, but you need to understand the flavor of the seafood is masked by frying in cream in those ones.
Okay.
Well, what else is there in New England? Fluffernutter, like.
Okay. Don't say it so dismissively because Fluffernutter is amazing.
I can't wait. I'm in Somerville now. I can't wait because they have the Fluff Fest every year. We're gonna go there and get fluffy. We're getting fluffy.
I'm
in
sorry.
Somerville.
What?
Yeah, they have it was invented in Somerville. They have something called
Oh,
the Fluff
shit.
Fest.
We got to go there.
Can we?
I'm shocked.
Wait, can we
Mr.
do like a
New-
collaboration this year?
100%.
We're going
I'm
to
in.
Fluff Fest. Put that on the calendar.
I love that.
Yeah, we're gonna get
I had
fluffy.
no idea.
We're getting fluffy.
That's the last thing I need. Holy smokes, is more fluff.
I know, right? Me too.
I'll start dieting.
I'm turning
right
into
now.
a fluff myself.
They also have what else is from New England? Necco wafers. You ever see those?
Yes.
Oh,
Delicious.
no way,
Made in
huh?
like Everett or something. Oh, Teddy peanut butter. That's a New
Delicious.
England.
Yep,
I knew
Very
that one.
good.
I knew
You're
That's-
thinking a very niche thing. 'Cause I was
know.
thinking a bit more like clam cakes and chowder, a
Clam
stuffy,
cake? Oh yeah, you're right.
clam strips,
Stuffies.
oysters.
You guys have these hot dogs in Rhode Island called soggies. I don't know what else is in New England. You have to like jog my memory here. If you gave me a list, I could probably rate
apple
it.
cider donuts, syrup.
is
We got
that-
Ben and Jerry's.
Okay, some of these things can be Canadian. I don't know. Syrup. Like this isn't specific.
Vermont maple syrup.
Yeah, right, which is really good. And I bought a glass jar in Vermont this year for like $30 and it was gone in like 5 minutes because it's mostly glass and not a lot of like you pick up the glass jar.
Syrup, it's so expensive.
So expensive. You can buy it at like Market Basket.
Have you
though.
been to
It's like
Clyde Cider Mill?
What is it called?
Clyde Cider Mill?
No, it's good.
Really, really good. It is in Connecticut, though.
Apple cider donuts.
It's a whole, it's a whole thing.
nice.
It's like any like kind of like
yeah.
fall
I
farm.
love
Because they
that
do a
vibe.
lot of like homemade everything from them, and like it's really, really good. I haven't ever had anything bad from them.
Ooh, I want to try
But
it.
the price, man, like you said, it's like a little thing of syrup like this, all glass, like.
Yeah, but
two-
you go
two
there
pancakes.
knowing you're gonna spend money, so you
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
better
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're open like
100%.
3 months out of the year though.
No, no, I know.
Because
I'm
they gotta
not.
make all
I'm
their
not
money.
saying that. I was just agreeing
What?
with him.
He's
and giving
shitting on
him-
small businesses.
Yeah,
I thought
what
we
a
were
fucking
coming here to help
asshole, huh?
people.
I fucking.
Bang, gang, gang, buddy. Let's go. Yeah, suck it down.
Stop
Okay.
moving the mic.
What else?
Wait, okay, so that's another New England vibe though. That fall.
Whoopie pies.
Oh, whoopie pies.
Oatmeal
are good.
pies.
Ooh, oatmeal pies are from New England.
Yep. American chop suey's from New England.
Oh, my grandmother used to make that. I love that. What's that face for?
Nothing. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay.
I can't talk anymore.
Oreos are from New England. Oreos are from New England.
Shut
Okay,
the fuck
hold
up.
on,
Invented
hold
here.
on, hold on. Don't you say a fucking word. Sorry, I didn't mean
This is
that was
gonna be
very loud.
What's
This is gonna be
happening?
so bad.
When you eat Oreos, do you get normal Oreos or double stuffed?
Double stuffed.
Thank you. Boom.
Gang, gang, bitch. Let's go.
Give me a button chance. We need to end this. I'm freaking out.
You know what's good?
That was
vanilla
crazy.
Oreos.
What is it?
Vanilla.
The yellow ones. Those are
Love
pretty
them.
good.
Yeah,
too.
those are
Did you try
delicious.
the new Post Malone ones?
Yeah, I did try them. What was the flavor on the inside? I liked them. I think I liked
What was
them.
it like?
Post Malone has his own Oreo?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a. What?
How
can
did
you
we
get
get to Oreos?
Can you get the flavors,
tried 'em.
please? They were so good.
Hey, you know who has a good Oreo? Okay, if you don't want to spend big Oreo money, Market Basket has their store brand Oreos. They're fucking really good. And you can get like a pack like this for like 15 cents or something like that. More for your dollar, Market Basket always.
Love that. Wow, look at the Market Basket shout out there, huh?
Always.
Sponsor him.
Yeah, exactly, right? Well, you spend money everywhere else, you might as well go to a company that is cheaper, right?
That's right.
Anyways, continue. Next.
Okay.
It's sweet salted caramel with a shortbread flavor. Post Malone.
Orgasmic.
That sounds really good. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1, fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Number 2, clam cakes and chowder? Or
Yeah.
just chowder?
I'm starting to like crab cakes, but I don't think that's a New England thing. So cut that out.
Yeah.
Clam cakes sound a little chewy, so I probably wouldn't do that. Are they chewy?
Have you ever had a clam
What
cake
was
before?
Bethany talking about on her podcast? Clam rolls.
strips.
She said clam roll or
Yeah,
something.
Or clam roll,
It
yeah.
was. She said
It's
clam
like the
roll,
same
but
thing
it
as like
was
a
clam.
lobster roll, but there's clam strips in it, basically.
So I would
Or
go for that. I've never actually
fried
had.
clam.
Oh, I've had fried clams.
Yeah.
It's a texture thing for me. That can be a little like gummy sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I don't know how I'd feel about that as a sandwich. Is it good? I
Little
trust you.
tartar.
I love.
It's good.
I don't know if
love
I've
it.
ever had it, honestly.
No, you definitely haven't.
No,
No.
I love tartar sauce.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. Boston cream pies, whoopie pies.
Oh, Boston cream pies are really good. Who made the original one? The Omni Parker House says they make the original one downtown.
You've got a
Boston.
lot of
I
fun
had-
historical
I know a lot of
facts.
facts.
He's a history guy.
You used to
I know
see me
his history.
when I walk around the city with my friends. Like, okay, I get it. Whatever. That's where that guy was shot. Like in the Revolution. I know. I get it. Like, you know who's buried over there? That's Sam Adams. Like, that's so cool. Yeah, whatever. There's a bar called the Beantown Pub across from Granary Burial Ground where Sam Adams, Paul Revere, and John Hancock is. And my favorite thing is that they always say it's the only place in the world where you can drink a cold Sam Adams while looking at a cold Sam Adams. I love that because you can see his grave from outside the window. It's hilarious.
Crazy.
That's awesome. I love that.
Beantown Pub. That's awesome.
Awesome.
They
All
don't
right.
sponsor me, but I give them
So
shit.
do we get 3 answers out of that? I don't know.
You got like 17 now.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's enough at this point.
What else?
Sean,
Saltwater taffy? I don't know. Like,
Ooh, I do love a good saltwater
oh
taffy.
yeah.
Okay. You're a big Boston guy. So
I do.
I'll ask you this question. You a big movie buff?
I used to be, and then COVID happened. I don't go as much anymore. But
There hasn't been a ton of new ones. So this question applies to you.
So like, you asked me which movie, Boston movies.
I was going to say, yeah, favorite
Right.
Boston influence, Boston based
You
type
have to,
movie.
like, you gotta like The Departed and like those. But I'm also sick of Boston always being showcased as like that hard city, like the dark skies. You know what I mean? It always has like that vibe, like the.
I love that.
Wow, perfect timing.
Right when you said, I was going to say, it's
Is there
actually
a
really
bank
dark
robbery?
out,
Oh
and
my
there's
God.
just a fucking ambulance going
Was
by.
The Departed the bank robbery one? Or was
No.
that the town?
The Town.
The Town's pretty good. But again, they're like on the same. Oh yeah, The Departed's more the Whitey Bulger lookalike one, I think, right?
That's the.
Well, that's also Black Mass, but that
That's
was
Black Mass,
based
okay.
off of him. But The Departed was a gang thing like that. I think
yeah,
it was.
cop that went bad. And then goes back in
Yeah,
and all
the
that kind of
FBI
stuff. Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, they're all good. But I'm also just sick of Boston being depicted that way too. And then more recently with Mark Wahlberg, Patriots Day. All Boston movies are all so sad. Patriots Day about the marathon bomb. Like,
Right.
wow, this is really sad. We don't have any fun movies here.
We have one.
What?
Go ahead. Tell him.
Fever pitch.
Oh, that's also one of my favorites. How did I forget about that?
That one depicts us
Fever.
in a good
I
spotlight.
don't
Although
really
it's
like
about-
Drew Barrymore, so I try to like erase her from my memory. But
Oh, okay. Hot take.
I really like Jimmy Fallon, right? Yeah, I like
Yep.
Jimmy Fallon. That is a great movie too.
Who's also from New
Here?
England,
Yeah,
but
right.
he is a Yankees fan.
I know.
And he made a Boston-based
know.
movie. So
Do you know that movie was supposed to be about them being a losing franchise when they first started it? Halfway through, they had to redo the entire script of that movie after they shot like half of it. The ending was never going to end the way it did. They were filming that season expecting them to lose because it was the curse of the Bambino. They were always going to lose. They
Right.
weren't going to win the World Series. Why would they win the World Series? They haven't won in 86 years. They had to change the ending to the movie. So everything you see in the end is 100% real. Like them on the field celebrating and like the fans in the end. They used a lot of real fans in that. Like you
That's
see
so sick.
Oh,
you
that's
see the
cool.
passion in that movie.
Wow.
So speaking
I
of
didn't know
that, I was
that.
with Jason Varitek last night. I saw him at
Oh,
he was
really?
at the event. Yeah.
Oh, that's
in
so
the,
cool.
in the bathroom. I really wanted to get his a picture with him. I turned around from the toilet and I was like, oh shit, Jason Veritek's right behind me. And I think he was a little blasted out of his mind, but that's fine. He's fun. He's cool. His wife's super cool too. Yeah. Anyways.
Love it.
Wow, a lot going on here.
Wow, and you have all these fun facts.
I have so many like little side stories. What's wrong with me?
I feel like we need a whole nother episode for you, Shawn. This has been great.
I'll be back in 2 weeks.
What else you got coming up that people can be on the lookout for?
Ooh, I have a Nesson episode coming up in a couple weeks, so that's my second one of the year. So that'll be cool. We're going to a couple of fun new restaurants in the city. That'll be really cool. And a place called the Maparium downtown Boston. I have never been there, but from what I've seen, it's like this big globe that you walk into, and it shows like all kinds of parts of the world. That'll be cool. We're featuring that. And yeah, just Marathon Mondays coming up. That's a huge content week. I love going to the marathon. That's one of my favorite things to do. I go every year. So either I'm there all day or half of the day, I'll be at the finish line at some point just to stick it to them and say, fuck you. I'm going to the marathon every year because you told me not to after the marathon bombing. You know what I mean? So that's my favorite thing to do every single year. I will be down there at some point, rain or shine. And yeah, that's sort of summer's coming. And what was that noise back then? Summer's coming. It's going to get busy. So yeah, a lot going on, definitely.
Be on the lookout. Where can they find you?
Shawn in Boston on Instagram. I have an Etsy store too. I think I mentioned that.
Ooh, okay.
We'll do this quick. I sell my photographs because I am still a photographer, kind of. So ShawnInBoston.com. That links right to the Etsy page. So, but Shawn in Boston, SHAWN, not seen. Shawn in Boston on Instagram. All the links are in my bio and stuff. I have a TikTok presence. I only have 1,000 followers there, but if you want to follow me there, you can, I guess. But
follow you everywhere.
Yeah, catch me on Nesson every month, 9:30 a.m. for 3 minutes. So that's fun. But yeah, so a couple different spots.
Fantastic. Thank you for making the trek down.
Thanks
and
for having
we
me,
look forward to hearing your review about our little roadie here.
I'm excited to see all these clips got cut out of this. So
this episode's going to be about 30 minutes less than all the talking we did.
I love it. Let's go.
All right, folks, that's going to conclude episode 40 of the So New England podcast. Remember, folks, life's better in New England.
Red Sox crack and the Celtics fly. Patriots fight and the Bruins